Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi guys. We're going to finish amino acids today. So ini sikit je. Okay, so amino acids, what are they? So first of all, amino acid, nama dia. Okay, each of this comes from the functional group that exists in that compound. So amino is your NH2. Okay, and acid comes from your carboxyl group. Okay, so here this is the alpha carbon of your carboxyl group. It will be called your alpha carbon. So in your amino acid here, okay, this carbon will have an amino group, must have an amino group, must have a carboxyl group, and must have an R side chain. Okay, so different amino acids, we have a lot of amino acids, will have different R side chain. Okay, different R group. Okay, so there are about 20 common amino acids. Okay, so they have their specific names. So as for this one, this is glycine. You have H as your side chain. For valine, you have isopropyl as your side chain. Leucine, you have isobutyl as your side chain. And here, cycbutyl as your side chain for isoleucine, and so on. Okay, so the ones highlighted in red, that is the abbreviation for the name, for the common name of your amino acid. So these are the few common amino acids names lah. Okay, but when you are naming your amino acid, you are going to name it like normal when you have amino as your substituent, okay, and carboxylic acid as your parent. Okay, because carboxyl group has higher priority than amines. Okay, so itu nanti awak namakan macam biasa je lah. Okay, alright. So there are 3 types of amino acids. You have the neutral amino acid when, okay, beza dia when your side chain does not have any extra NH2 or COOH. Okay, so dia balance. So dia ada NH2 dengan COOH sama, so dia adalah neutral amino acid. As for this one, you have NH2, COOH, itu dah neutral. But then your R group here, okay, has an amino group. Okay, so this will be a basic amino acid. Alright, so the amino group is basic. Okay, so if you have an additional COOH at your side chain, it will be an acidic amino acids. Alright, okay, but your amino acids, it does not exist as an uncharged compound like so. It actually exists as Zwitter ions. Okay, so what is a Zwitter ion? Zwitter ion is actually a salt. Okay, this is the neutral form of your amino acid. Okay, it is a neutral compound that contains both a positive and negative charge. Okay, it exists in the solid state. So if we look here on our right here, okay, this uncharged structure of your amino acid actually doesn't exist. Okay, actually your amino acid does not exist in this form. Okay, it exists as a Zwitter ion. So your amino acid here, dia akan have proton transfer where your basic amino group will accept proton, okay, H+, from where? Daripada your carboxyl group. Your carboxyl group is the acidic part of your amino acid. So this hydrogen will actually transfer to this amino group. Okay, so here we have our Zwitter ion. So sekarang our carboxyl group has O-, okay, the negative charge here, and your amino group is now NH3+. You have a positive charge. So this is the Zwitter ion for a neutral amino acid. Okay, so your amino acid, okay, atau your Zwitter ions, they are actually amphoteric. Amphoteric maksudnya they your amino acid, your zeta ion can act as base or act as acid. Okay, kalau base maksudnya dia accept proton. Okay, kalau acid maksudnya dia release proton. Okay. Okay. So, tapi kalau dalam solid state, you only have zeta ions. But in aqueous solution, okay, your alpha amino acids, it can exist as a zeta ion, or cation, or anion, or even a mixture of these ions. Okay, they exist in equilibrium with all the other ions. But this one, all this depends on the pH of your solution. Okay, ingat lagi kan pH tu apa? Acidic ke basic? Okay, so how does it look like? Okay, let's say, okay, tak nampak ni. So let's say your zeta ion, you have zeta ion in your system, and then you add acid. Okay, you add acid. Okay, what will happen? Which part of your zeta ion will react with the H+? Of course, the basic pula. Of course, your negative charge will react with your H+. So here your oxygen here will react with your proton. It will pick up the proton. Okay, when you add acid in your solution. So then you will form more cations when the pH of your solution is low or in an acidic solution. Okay, what happened was your alpha amino acid, it gains a proton to form a cation. Okay, so this part of your molecule is already uncharged. Okay, so you have cation now. So let's say if you add base, okay, OH minus into your system, okay, what will happen? Which part of your zeta ion will react with the OH minus? It will be your amino group. Okay, so this nitrogen, okay, it has 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds, where 3 of it has hydrogen and has a plus charge. So what happens is that the lone pair from this OH minus will attack, oh my god, will attack the hydrogen tadi, and then this bond will masuk sini, the electron will masuk sini. So that's why you now have NH2. So at high pH or in basic solutions, you will form anions. Alright? Okay. Okay. But there is a point when your pH, okay, is called the isoelectronic point. Bilakah itu? That is when the concentration of your zeta ion is at its maximum. So that means that you have antara anions, cations dengan zeta ions. Zeta ions is paling banyak lah. Okay. At that point, your anions concentration is equal to the concentration of cations. And there is no net charge. Maksudnya tak ada perubahan equilibrium tu macam the rate of production and depletion is equal. Okay, ingat tak dulu kan SEM 1. So that is called the PI, isoelectronic point. Okay, so different amino acid will have different PI. Okay, so bawah ni we have a little bit of exercise. Okay, this is for drawing structure of your zeta ion. Okay, note that you want to draw zeta ion where you have positive and negative charge in your amino acid. So let's start with alanine. Okay, dia dah bagi dah IUPAC name. So we'll start with the parent. Since you have propanoic, that means you have 3 carbons. 1, 2, 3. And it's a carboxyl group. So C double bond O, OH. Okay, so this will be carbon number 1, carbon number 2, carbon number 3. So you have 2 amino. That means that at carbon number 2, here you have NH2, an amino group. Okay, so this is your structure. But they want the zwitter ion. So that means that you will have proton transfer, Okay, so what will happen is that you will transfer the proton from your carboxyl group here, okay, ke mana? Kat this amino group. So sekarang dia jadi NH3+. So this one O-. So this is your zwitter ion for alanine. Okay. Alright. So yang ni awak boleh buat sendirilah. Okay. Next question is, dia bagi tahu that you have the PI value for serine is 5.7. So at this PI value, okay, serine paling banyak ada zwitter ion and apa tu? Equal concentration of cation dengan anion, and there is no net charge. Okay, so sekarang they ask you to draw the predominant structural formula of serine in an aqueous solution. Okay, in aqueous solution maksudnya boleh ada different concentrations lah of those ions atau of those ions lah. Okay, so here pH equals to 1, that is acidic. Okay, so in acidic solution, which part of your serine will react with your will react with your H+? It will be your O-. Okay, so that means that you will form the acidic. You will form the you will form the cation. Okay, the cation form of your zwitter ion. Okay, so this one is basic. So which part of your amino acid will react with OH-? It will be your amino group yang NH3+2. Okay, so nanti you will form lebih banyak anion. So draw your anion here. Okay, pH equals to 5.7. Dia dah bagi tahu that this is actually your PI. So that means that which concentration of ion, which ion yang concentration dia paling banyak, it will be your zwitter ion. Okay, so you just draw your zwitter ion. Right. Okay, ini pun sama, same type of question. Alright. Okay, next we're going to go into chemical properties. Okay, so chemical properties, these are the sikit je chemical reaction of amino acids. Okay, so first we have reaction with HCl. So HCl is an acid kan. So your amino group, it is the basic part of your amino acid. It will react with the HCl to form salts. Okay, so what's going to happen is that your amino group will capture the hydrogen. Okay, and then you will form Cl-. Lepas tu dia jadi NH3+, Cl-. So you have to show the charges because this is a salt. Okay. Next, if you react with nitrous acid, ingat tak nitrous acid, nitrous test tu. So since it's an acid, so your amino group, the basic one, will react with your HNO2 to form a mixture of these: alkyl halide, alcohol, alkenoic acid, and nitrogen gas. Okay, so here we have our amino acid. Okay, you react your amino acid with this reagent at this condition. Okay, kita tak boleh guna HNO2 terus because HNO2 does not exist on its own because it's very reactive. So kita guna ni, okay, as our reagent and condition. And so you will form 1, 2, 3, 4 products. Okay, so gantikan je NH2 tu dengan OH, Cl. Lepas yang ni, part sini, awak dapat alkene dengan nitrogen gas. So where does the nitrogen gas come from? It will come from the type of ion that is formed, the intermediate that is formed. Okay, tapi ini just senang je kan, so awak just gantikan je lah. Okay. Okay. Next, if you react with NaOH, NaOH is a base. So the acidic part of your amino acid will react with NaOH, which is carboxyl group. Okay. So what will happen is that you will get salt and water. So daripada COOH, okay, awak ada Na+, H ni akan be liberated. It will be O- and Na+, dapat salt. Okay. Next, you have reaction with acid catalyzed alcohol. Okay, so alcohol is a base. Okay, tapi ingat dia cakap acid catalyzed, that means that you need to have a type of strong acid here as your catalyst. Okay, even though dia tak undergo any reaction. So we will form ester and water. So this is actually a hint that you are going to have elimination reaction. So basically here, elimination of water. Okay, your amino acid, the carboxyl part will react with your base. And we will take this part of your alcohol. Okay, the OR. It will, since kita buang OH daripada carboxyl group dengan H daripada alcohol. So this O will attach to this carbon. So kita dapat ni C double bond O, O, CH2, CH3. Ini adalah R awak daripada alcohol. Okay, and eliminate water. Finally, we have the formation of peptide bonds. So peptide bonds. Oh, okay. Just nak ingatkan yang that means that you can form ester daripada amino acid dengan alcohol punya reaction juga selain what reaction is that? Acid and base reaction, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Okay. So here, formation of peptide bonds in polypeptides. So peptide bonds, what is a peptide bond? Peptide bond ni exist dalam awak punya peptide lah. Bila awak combine at least 2 amino acids together. So let's say I combine glycine and alanine in this specific orientation. My polypeptide will be glycylalanine. Okay, atau abbreviation dia is Ella. Alright, but if I react my 2 amino acids in this orientation, bila alanine plus glycine, okay, dia terbalik, we will get a different dipeptide. It will be alanyl glycine. So Ella-glycine. So dia boleh dapat specific polypeptide bila awak react it differently. Okay. Okay. So the formation of peptide bonds, okay, or amide linkage, it can happen when you condense 2 or more amino acids ni, contoh yang ni, okay, and then you remove water, okay. So maksudnya your carboxyl group of 1 amino acid will react with the amino group of your other amino acid. So let's say we have 2 amino acids here, okay. So what will happen is that we will condense, okay, react them together, these 2 groups. We will remove water. So mana kita remove water? Kita remove OH from here. Kita remove H from the amino group of your amino acid. So then apa akan berlaku? Kita sambung je carbon ni dengan nitrogen ni, and then we will get our peptide bond. So this is your peptide bond atau amide linkage. Okay, if awak ingat, amide is C double bond O, nitrogen. Okay, so this is our polypeptide. Okay, dalam polypeptide ada peptide bond. Kenapa dipanggil polypeptide? Kenapa ini tulis dipeptide? Okay, ini dipeptide sebab awak ada awak campurkan 2 peptide together. Okay, polypeptide tu nama general dia. Poly maksudnya banyak. So kalau awak ada tripeptide, maksudnya awak combine 3 amino acids together. Okay, So tapi dua-dua ni still adalah polypeptide lah. Okay. Alright, so that's all for amino acids. So last kali chapter will be polymer, which is a short chapter as well. So try doing your tutorial questions. Okay, bye.